Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's video is about the second part of my trip here on Oahu, where I decided to rent this nice car to go on a road trip around the island. Starting in Waikiki Beach, driving along Kaila Wawa Avenue that goes across Waikiki from tip to tip, starting at the end of Honolulu downtown, going all the way to the beginning of the trail to the Diamond Head Creek Monument. This is the shopping area where most of the shops, shopping centers, and hotels are concentrated, and all the action taken in this video was recorded before the COVID-19 pandemic has taken serious proportions. As we see, there's still lots of people out and about as we drive in and onto the beach itself, where we'll be able to see some of those beautiful and iconic banyan trees. Here, about to come on the roadside, one of the small buses that you can hop on and off to get around this area of Waikiki Beach. And now we're about to see one of those banyan trees that I mentioned before. For those a few who are more interested in biology, this is an epiphyte, which means that it grows on another plant, and that may be one of the reasons why they have those uncommon trunks. It's time to get the road trip started, and I'm heading on to Helena Lookout that we're going to see very soon. I'm sitting behind the steering wheel of this beautiful 2010 Corvette C6 that comes with a naturally aspirated 6.2 liter V8 engine developing around 450 brake horsepower whilst driving along this scenic road. Heading down through the rocks to the lookout I was talking about, Helena Lookout, where sometimes it is possible to watch some of ocean water being shot into the air somewhere here, further on, close to those people that we can see at the end of this trek, but it's not always possible depending on the tide conditions mostly. And unfortunately it wasn't possible to get to see it. For those of you who were wondering what was that, well, it's basically a phenomenon, if you can call it that way, that results from a large amount of water that gets accumulated beneath the rocks, and with the pressure of the incoming waves bumping in, it ends up being projected through the only available exit. And it's now time to head on to the next stop on this road trip, which is going to be Waimanalo Beach. There's still a bit of road ahead before getting there, which is good to enjoy the car and the view and the road itself. The majority of the roads on this island are very well maintained, which creates good conditions to enjoy and drive this kind of cars that are very low to the ground without putting them in jeopardy. As we now are about to arrive to the parking area, and Just finding some nice spot and heading down to the sand. This water is just outstanding. Using my drone to try to get some nice images of it as I fly over this stretch of sand. That is quite long though. The beach itself, I guess, is about 3.2 miles long, and I guess it is the longest one on Oahu. It's just 20-30 minutes away from Waikiki on the other side of the island. So it's a good alternative, especially if you're getting a bit tired of those crowds and you want to get some rest without many people around you. Now here, flying at an altitude of roughly 40 meters, as I turn around and we are able to see this phenomenal crystalline blue water to head back to the original point. Yeah, roughly in altitude I'd say 45 meters max. Not much more than that because it was quite windy and my drone is tiny. It's a Mavic Mini. I was just afraid they could get blown away because it's very light, just 249 grams, which is very convenient because I don't have to make any registration whatsoever in order to be able to fly it in most of the countries. So yeah, here heading to the original point and getting to see some of these ironwood trees and the mountains on the background. And it's time to hit the road again and head on to the next stop of this road trip, that is going to be the Chinaman's Hat, which is basically a very small island. It's a basalt island, also known as Mokoli, and it is situated roughly, I'd say, 0.5 kilometers offshore of Kualoa Point. That it is where we are heading now, whilst also taking the opportunity to stretch the legs of this Corvette C6 on this nice and scenic coastal road. The car drives pretty well. The weight is very well distributed. It handles very well on the corners. The only downside, I would say downside, is the gearbox, which is not bad, but it is not responsive enough. Here I am driving past another nice beach, but unfortunately, due to the lack of time, I wasn't able to stop at. Basically, just looked at it. Initially, actually, I was planning on calling here, then it was becoming too late, and I had to carry on. And finally, here we are, looking at the Chinaman's hat itself from Kuala Point where I was standing. What I was trying to do was flying around the island, but I almost lost my drone on that attempt because I lost the connection as the drone got behind the rock, the island itself. I I wasn't able to keep controlling it. I had to enable the return home button, and actually I had to run on the beach to reach another point with a better angle in order to re-establish the connection. It was a good 10 seconds of panic. I am just filming and trying to catch a bit of the surroundings. There's all beautiful landscape with those mountains on the background. Those are basically the mountains that you were seeing when I was at the beach in Waimanalo. Basically, here we are at the other side of those mountains. And finally approaching the Chinaman's hat, surrounded by this beautiful and crystalline yet not so blue waters. As I'm approaching and then trying to create a an angle of attack to basically go around the islet, and that was when I lost the connection with my drone, or basically the drone lost connection with the remote control. And here we are right in front of Chinaman's hat. There are actually some people at the bottom of it. Well, it's possible to visit it actually every day, I guess. It just take a kayak or a boat or even a surfboard to get there, and that's it. Or even I guess it's possible. I was told that it's possible to wait when when the tide is low, so that could be an option as well. If you're not feeling like taking a boat or a kayak, you can just wait. So I'm basically now trying to make a circle around the islet that was once part of the ridge and end up eventually being separated due to the erosion, due to the marine erosion. Flying at an altitude of around 70, 80 meters, and this is the moment where I'm about to lose connection very soon, and it just happened right when the rock got on the way between me and the drone. Today's video comes to an end with this beautiful picture. I hope you guys enjoy it. Give me a thumbs up if so, and I'll see you next time.